Thank you. All right, good morning, I should say, and welcome, folks. We are live here on Field U1. All right, folks, sorry about that. Had to get the clock running. Welcome to day 3 of the week-long tournament. This game being played on a Thursday morning, 10 o'clock start, 10 o'clock a.m. We had to get things going early this morning because of the heat warnings that were coming out today, and so the halves have been shortened, so these will be 30-minute halves. This is U16 girls Gold Division Pool A play right now. So this is the last of the pool play. Both teams right now undefeated. It will be the Sherwood Park Phoenix from Alberta, Canada in the white, moving right to left on your screen, and the Minneapolis United Inferno moving left to right in the black and blue. Both teams, as I mentioned, undefeated in pool play so far. Playoffs begin tomorrow, and so these two teams look to be the top dogs to knock off, especially in Pool A. So basically this game will decide who is the king and the number 1 seed out of Pool A. It might have a little easier playoff schedule. I apologize for being out of breath. I had to sprint up the stairs here as these refs got this game going awful quickly after our last one had ended. So this is the 3rd game of the day on this field. The halves supposed to be 40 minutes. They've shortened them to 30 minutes because of the excessive heat. The sun's starting to rise in the sky, and so that is making things very difficult as far as the heat goes. So that sun actually was tucked behind the clouds for much of our first game and probably a good half of our second game. So it kept the temperatures down, kept everything pretty mild. Humidity you can definitely feel, but other than that, things are going very smoothly. As far as like severe weather goes, I mean, yes, we have the heat advisories, but nothing in the form of storms, being severe thunderstorms and or tornadoes, anything like that. We've, as far as that goes, we've been pretty lucky. We got some rain last night into early this morning, and so the field started off pretty wet, and it was pretty slippery, but we pretty much have gotten past that, being this the 3rd game of the day on this field. And so we're looking forward to some good soccer action here as the top 2 teams in Pool A square off, and it was Minneapolis Inferno with a 6-0 win against the Minnesota Twin Stars Academy. That was their first game, and then the defeat the NSSA Royals, a 3-0 final score there. So Minneapolis United has outscored their opponent 9-0. They have not given up a goal so far in this tournament. The tournament that started on Tuesday. Championship game for this division will be on Field U2, which is the field directly behind us, or they call it the exhibition field. That will be a 9 a.m. start. So plenty of playoff games to get to tomorrow, but this will be a game here that just pretty much says who is on top here in Pool A. For Sherwood Park, Alberta, if I can get that out of my mouth, just east of Edmonton. So it's about a 1,200-mile drive from Edmonton, Alberta to here. Not sure if they took a bus or not, but the city of Sherwood Park, population of 68,000, almost 69,000. Last census was checked, I believe, in 2013, so it might be a little bit more by now. So I was able to go down and at least talk with one of the coaches and get some kind of aspect of what's going on here, because this is, like I said, pretty much the championship game for Pool A right here. Sherwood Park, they're called the Phoenix, and no, they're not from Phoenix, they're just called the Phoenix. They had a similar victory, a 3-0 win over the NSSA Royals, and an 8-0 win over the Minnesota Twin Stars Academy. So they've both played the same teams, they've both shut out the same teams. Neither team has given up a goal, so something's got to give here in this one. Of course, there is the prospect we could play to a 0-0 tie, and then all of my arguments are moot. But yeah, I plan on having a great game here in this one. We're in the 6th minute of play, and we have no score. Temperature's supposed to get up to 98 degrees for a high today, as we see a corner kick coming, the first of the game for either team. And that one will go actually right on top of the net and out of play. Goal kick coming up for the Sherwood Park Phoenix. Phoenix have their white jerseys with the red numbers and then the word Phoenix on the back, where the nameplate should be. So everybody's a Phoenix. And for Minneapolis United, they have those numbers outlined, which is going to help me quite a bit being up here on the top in the press box area. This is the field where the Minnesota United FC play their home games, and of course they are the professional team out of the NASL soccer league. So it's not exactly the MLS, but you know, it's still professional soccer, and there's still a high level. And they actually just had a game against a Premier League team from England, traveling all the way across the pond. Bournemouth actually took it to them last night, 4-0 final score there. So it's kind of cool for these girls to share a field with professional soccer players, and that's what's going on right here with Field U1, or the Stadium Field as it's called. And in the distance in that backdrop, you can see those blue seats, and that's the special reserve seats that were in there for the game last night. And for those of you who are from Minneapolis, probably know that the stadium, this team will not play here for very long. 2018, they plan on having a stadium going, and they plan on moving to the MLS and checking out of the NASL. Of course, it would be kind of fun if they could just do relegations and ascensions like they do in the Mexican Professional Soccer League there. That girl took a shot right in the head as we finally get the whistle, and she's a little slow to get up, and that is number 10, Monet Alonzo Cruz, as she took that soccer ball right off the side of the head. And looks like she will come off the pitch and try to gather herself once more. We've seen that a couple times actually during the weekend tournament. A girl caught one right in the nose, pretty much point blank right in the nose, and had to come off. I'm not sure if she got a broken nose, but definitely a bloody nose. She did not come back into that game. Looks like she's going to go over to the medical tent, and so we'll see if that injury will keep her out the rest of the game or not. Maybe a concussion protocol test will be in play for her. I'm not sure, but she took one off the side of the melon. We're going to hope she's going to be okay. Wheeling and dealing, Claire Vanderhyde. Or not, I'm sorry. Wrong team. Thierry Laughlin was the, I'm already getting screwed up here. I think it's the heat getting to me already. Nadia Kennedy trying to control as it comes back on Cassia Tones. Forgive me if I butcher these names. Like I said, the referees didn't give us much time to go down and talk to the coaches. In fact, I didn't even get to talk to the Sherwood Park coach because they got about a 2-minute warm-up, literally. So I went down there, got to talk to the Minneapolis United coach for roughly 30 seconds, and then they were already marching the girls out onto the field, and so I had to hustle up here real quick, and like I said, it took me a good 10 minutes just to get my breath. We're in the 11th minute of play. Like I said, we're going to go 30 of the shortened halves. They'll shorten each half by 10 minutes because of the excessive heat. Temperatures really did not drop much during the nighttime hours. Because of the rain, it did cool off a bit. Still, our first game was about 72, and that was a 7 o'clock a.m. start. So things not planning to cool down much at all today either. By 6 o'clock, it'll still be 89 very humid degrees out. We've been lucky, I said, dodging the storms as we've gotten storms to the north of the Twin Cities and to the south of the Twin Cities in recent days, but we have not been hit ourselves. We got a little rain last night, but no storms, and so really it hasn't had even a chance to cool down. So these potentially large storms that come with the humid and hot weather, we have not gotten to see because temperatures are not cooling down. You see a foul called there against Minneapolis United, and a free kick coming for Sherwood Park. We'll get one substitution coming in here now for the Phoenix. It'll be number 19, Emma Barrett, checking into the game for the Phoenix. And Minneapolis United might be ready to check in some subs themselves. 3 on, 3 off, looks like, for the Minneapolis United Inferno. So it'll be Melissa Kalker also coming in forward, Alana Matson, and forward Natalia Henry, all in now for the Minneapolis United Inferno. It's nice when you're in such a big tournament like this, and you know the city pretty well. Blaine, obviously, only 20 minutes north of Minneapolis, and so pretty much a home game here for the Minneapolis United, as they don't have to travel far. They can go home and sleep in their own beds. They don't have to worry about any sort of lodging issues. That one not kept in the back line as it hopped right over her foot, so a swing and a miss, which means we will have the first corner kick of the game for the Phoenix. Neither team has really gotten a good offensive chance so far in this one. Minneapolis United has had a corner, and now Sherwood Park will get their corner, and that one knocked away immediately. Long range shot, that one's going to go overhead of the net. So not a shot on frame, but still some offensive production there for Sherwood Park that they maybe can build on. Goalkeeper for Minneapolis United, I was told by head coach Greg Wheaton, will be Claire Graziani. Or, no, I'm sorry, Grazzini. Claire Grazzini, number listed here as number 0. Sophia Grenz would be the backup as we take a water break here now. These are instituted in the middle of the halves. They will not be stop time water breaks. They will keep the clock running. So 2-minute water breaks, and then we will get right back to action, but we will not cut the time or stop the time, I should say. Coming up next on this field will be U13 boys gold division. Some pool play action and pool play A between the KC Legends and Academy Sports Club. That's coming up next. Another battle of undefeated teams. So plenty of good action here on field U1. As I mentioned, Minneapolis United playing here, or I'm sorry, not Minneapolis United, but Minnesota United FC playing here last night under some pretty hot temperatures themselves. Temperatures got up into the middle to high 80s depending on where you were yesterday, so a lot of heat. And this is the dog days of summer. It usually happens this way all the time, that the hottest weather usually coincides with the USA Cup. Seems like now and then at the end of August, early September, when we have our annual Minnesota State Fair, that's when the hottest weather usually occurs. And for some reason, it seems to happen like that pretty much every year. We had one good year where temperatures stayed pretty low, humidity stayed pretty low, and we were able to get USA Cup without too much of a problem at all. Actually, we had no black flags, which is weather induced. Good defending on the back line here by Minneapolis United. Now they'll look to move this one forward. As right now that sun is pretty much right up overhead. Temperatures plan on getting the hottest between 2 and 3 p.m. today. So maybe during the next game we'll start to really feel that heat. And that's why we institute the water breaks. Water breaks taking place in the middle of each half. So being that these are 30-minute halves, as you see that one partially deflected corner kick coming up for Minneapolis United. So half-hour halves, and so obviously they're going to take a water break in the 15-minute mark of the first and second halves. And so right in that middle spot is when we'll get the 2-minute water breaks. Corner number 2 coming up here for the Inferno. Ansley Atkinson on the corner kick. And she got some good height and depth into it right in that 6-yard box, but goalkeeper was wise to that one. And there's a nice run right off the bat. The Phoenix. This one being cut inside. She was able to get a shot off, but wasn't much of a shot as it was partially deflected. On the shot there was Delana Friesen, number 2. And of course, I'm sure she's just the opposite of Friesen right now. As I mentioned, temperatures have been rising all day. We're in the 19th minute of play here, opening half, and no score between these two undefeated teams. One of these teams may give up a goal. It would be their first of the tournament if they did. And we got substitutions coming in. They usually during this tournament they would have to wait until everybody got towards the sideline before the players coming in could even leave the sideline. That's a rule kind of special, I guess, to USA Cup, is that they want the girls to wait until their teammate pretty much tags them in. This one will be dropped back to the keeper once again. She chips it ahead. By the way, I should mention the goalkeeper, shouldn't I, for the Sherwood Park Phoenix? That is listed here as number 22, Brianna Truscott. All right, we got a ball in the stands, and apparently no one around to get to it. And so a parent will very alertly get to that ball. There we go. And now all is well. Mary Urich on the inbound. Good play in. She cut towards the inside, but no help on the inside, and the goalkeeper will pick it up. Truscott looks to move her troops forward down the pitch as she gives it a drop kick. Good distance on that ball.